BTN.com senior writer Tom Dienhart now joins us on the phone. Change of foot in Columbus, and especially with the offense, Tommy D. Curtis Samuel is gone. Kevin Wilson, the new OC, is coming in. How different will this offense really look in 2017?
Yeah, first, Rick, the loss of Samuel is huge, cannot be understated. He was the big play waiting to happen for a Buckeye offense. Too often really struggle for explosive plays on the perimeter especially. Tough to replace him, but I tell you what, bringing in Kevin Wilson is a nice coup for Urban Meyer. You know, Meyer's seen that Indiana offense of Wilson's up close the last few years. It's an offense very similar scheme-wise to what Urban Meyer likes to do, Rick. They want to spread you out, but they still want to be based on running the run of the football, being tough up front. So I think it's a match made in heaven. This could be just the juice that this Ohio State offense needs.
We transition to the Penn State defense. Penn State will be fantastic on offense next year with Barkley and McSorley back. Yes, Chris Godwin left, but still all the pieces. Defensively is where some questions were, Tom, and Marcus Allen announces on Monday he'll be back there. Outstanding safety. Can this defense be good enough to lead Penn State, help them back to another Big Ten title game?
Yeah, without a doubt. He's the real bellwether in the back seven. The linebacking core watch that group. It has to come together, but the secondary, Rick, both cornerbacks will return in addition to Allen at safety. He's almost like a linebacker, honestly, a big, tough, physical guy who can come up and play the run. Up front, they have to find a couple lanes, too. But still, Rick, I think that Penn State defense can do more than enough to complement what's going to go on offensively. Credit Brent Pry, the defensive coordinator. He did a great job this last year, really making that a formidable unit. And I think with Allen leading the way, Penn State's defense will be pretty good again.
Meanwhile, over in the West, P.J. Fleck's impact at Minnesota, immediate, at least as far as the recruiting rankings are concerned, flipping a bunch of guys early, Tom, pushing Minnesota's rankings up some 15, 20 slots already. Is that where we're going to see the impact felt, maybe the heaviest and the quickest with Fleck?
And that's what it's all about, you know, talent. It's not about the X's and O's, as they like to say. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. You got to have the players. And if P.J. Fleck proved one thing while at Western Michigan, he knows how to recruit. He would out-recruit Big Ten schools regularly, Rick. He's already flipped 6 guys in just a 24-hour period from Western Michigan. This is only the tip of the iceberg. He'll move well beyond his commits at Western Michigan and start making some noise nationally as well. So it's going to be fun to see what he can do now that he can sell a Big Ten program.
Interesting development from Iowa City on Monday. Kirk Ferentz filling the vacant offensive coordinator spot left open by Greg Davis's retirement, and it's a familiar name. His son Brian will take over as OC. Ferentz addressing that decision earlier on Monday.
Regarding the offensive coordinator position, really excited to name Brian Ferentz to that position. And, you know, just a couple words about Brian. He's had a tremendous career at the University of Iowa. He's obviously a former player like several other guys on our staff. Really, in my judgment right now, I think he's the best person fit to lead our offense moving forward. He knows Iowa. He knows our players, knows our program. And most importantly, I think he knows, you know, what works here and what doesn't work.
Tom, your take on exactly how this would work with the father-son combo, head coach and offensive coordinator.
It could be tough, I'll be honest with you, Rick. I think back to Algro and Micro, Virginia. It's hard, you know, if things start going bad offensively, you know, then your son comes under fire. I mean, and I know Brian's going to report to AD, Gary Barta, but still, it can be tough. It sounds ideal working father-son, but I tell you what, there can be some dicey situations with it if things go south offensively. I'll tell you what, Rick, let's be honest. This Iowa offense needs some type of juice, you know, just like Ohio State. Yeah, Brian knows what works at Iowa City, but sometimes getting a fresh set of eyes from outside can help. But again, more explosive plays are needed in Iowa City, just like at Ohio State. Can Brian Ferentz bring that element to the offense? And we shall see.
All right, last piece of notable news from Monday, Tom. Kirk Gibson, we all know him as an outstanding baseball player. Who can't forget the home run that he hit off Dennis Eckersley in the playoffs? But we also remember him as an outstanding wide receiver at Michigan State. And on Monday, he was elected to the College Football Hall of Fame. He said he was shocked by it, a total surprise. What recollections do you have of Gibby?
You know, I'm like you. I'm a little bit older than you, Rick, but I'm not old enough to really remember him as a football player at Michigan State, but of course he's a baseball player like a lot of the listeners. The Troy Tigers in particular, you talked about the Dodger memory. Just a terrific ball player. Again, a terrific football player, like you noted. And Michigan State, if you know this, Rick, also produced Steve Garvey, who was obviously a great baseball player. He was a defensive back in East Lansing for a while. And Robin Roberts, of course, a great pitcher going back to the 50s. So some really good dual sport athletes up there in Michigan State over the years.
Tom Dienhart, as always, dishing out the knowledge. Tommy D, great to catch up. We'll talk with you again, my friend.
Take care, buddy.